Let's do this. Okay, what are we going to talk about today? Today we're going to talk about how do I love my shadow? What is your shadow? Your shadow is all the stuff that you're taught not to like about yourself. Your shadow is fear, hypocrisy, pride, all of this sort of stuff that you want to just ooh, I'm ashamed of that. I don't think I should be that. I've been told I shouldn't be that, right? If you're loud, if you're outspoken, if people think you laugh funny, right? Whatever it is. Your shadow is all of these things that we have been taught are bad, shameful. Some people, fear, anger, all the negative emotions, right? That's all the kinds of stuff that you are taught to put under the carpet, sweep away, right? Hide it, don't show up with it. So, what is wrong with that? What is wrong with when we do that? When we try to pretend we don't have shadow, we try to pretend we're not afraid, or we are, we don't have thoughts of pride or all this other stuff that we're told, oh, that's so bad, okay? Well, what happens is when you push it under the rug, then it starts to run your life instead, right? Because you're like, oh, I don't have that. I don't have that. So instead, it's like driving your bus. It's then they're saying, hey, you're going to be acting. If you try to pretend you're not afraid and you don't acknowledge the fear, then you'll make all these decisions from fear, but you won't know you're making the decision from fear. You see? And so if instead you can acknowledge it and you bring it up and you're like, okay, so I guess I am afraid of this thing. And that might be why I'm making this decision. Do I actually want to make a decision based from fear? Now I see what the fear is and I acknowledge it and I say, maybe, this fear is probably not that likely to happen, actually. So if I make this whole decision about my life and my career, my marriage, or whatever it is, based on this fear over here, which I have, and I just realize I have, and that's why I'm making this decision, maybe I don't want that decision. Maybe I want to make a decision based on what I want, not on what I'm afraid of. You see? If I don't acknowledge that, then I have no choice. I end up making the decision based on that fear without having the choice. Oh, not a good signal for me. Hey, Mike, how's it going? I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with that. Saturday, maybe everybody's online playing video games or buying crypto or watching Netflix. I don't know. I mean, I'm supposed to have a high upload signal. So we're talking about shadow. We're talking about what happens when you try to hide from your shadow, or you try to tuck it away and you don't embrace it, you don't acknowledge it, you don't bring it up to the light. Because what's the thing about when something is a shadow, right? You don't have to try to chase it away. You don't have to try to hide it. You just shine light on it, and what happens? Boom, the shadow's gone as soon as you shine the light. See? So that's kind of the beautiful thing about our shadow. And the other thing is a lot of the things that we dislike, like fear, anger, stuff like that, right? We're taught, oh, these things are bad. But in fact, there's always something good and beautiful in them, right? The fear that you have is your brain trying to protect you. It doesn't want you to die. It wants to protect your body. Hey, Miguel. So, anytime, anything like that, anger, right? Anger can be a good thing. We should sometimes be angry against oppression and angry against the things that are wrong in the world, right? So it's not always this bad, negative thing that everybody makes it out to be. And when we recognize, okay, I'm angry. So if I suppress my anger, so I used to do this. I used to think, I don't get angry. I don't get angry. Sometimes I get a little frustrated. Sometimes I get a little annoyed, But my father had a really bad temper. So, I saw, and I was always taught that anger was a bad thing, especially for women. We're taught anger is bad to get angry, right? So I always thought I didn't have much anger. And then when I actually started recognizing, is that funny feeling I have there? Is that anger? I never really recognized that as anger because I didn't want to see anger, you see? But once you acknowledge, wait, I am angry, then you can be like, okay, so that's what that feels like. All right, so where's this coming from? You acknowledge it and you just let it through, you see? And then that emotion can actually pass through your system much more quickly once you acknowledge it. If you suppress it and you say, I shouldn't be feeling this, right? So I'm going to push it down, then you're not going to be able to really, it's not going to flow through your system. It's going to get stuck in your system as suppressed anger. And suppressed anger is one of the most dangerous, detrimental things you can do to your body and to your health. So, for me, like in the last years, just learning to acknowledge emotion, learning to acknowledge, wait, I feel this in my body. You know, what is this? Hey, Autumn. Oh, so good to see you. Feeling it in my body and saying, what is this emotion I feel like? What is this pressure in my chest? Where is this coming from? Because I thought that any kind of negative emotion was bad. So I would just try to distract myself, push it down, ignore it, go do something else, right? And so learning to sit with it and recognizing it, letting it come up, acknowledging it, and being okay with it and saying, I embrace you. If you feel this way, I embrace you. I embrace that emotion. Just send love to that emotion and be like, okay, that's okay. You can feel angry. That's all right. Okay, what are we angry about, right? Just let it come up. Let that anger come up. And then when you see it, you acknowledge it. Then usually it can pass much more easily than if we judge it. If I'm judging my anger and being like, I'm so angry, but I know I shouldn't feel angry, so I'm not going to feel angry, but I'm so angry, right? Then it gets stuck, and we have to hold it much longer. See? So that's the beautiful thing about loving your shadow and embracing your shadow. And it allows it to come up, and also acknowledging what it's done for you, acknowledging the good things it's done for you, right? Your fear has helped protect you. Perhaps your anger has helped you get out of a bad situation, or has helped you create something new in the world to change the thing that made you angry or upset you, right? These are not bad things. When each thing has its beautiful place when used in the right thing and allowed to be what it's supposed to be, right? So even like pride, lack of self-confidence, all of this stuff, right? It's when we let it come up to the surface, we acknowledge it, we say, wow, okay, I feel this way. I feel I'm really nervous about, my book coming out. Are people going to criticize it? Is it really going to portray the message that I want it to portray? We can tap and let all that stuff out, and then just say, at the end, with all that I am, with all that I feel, I unconditionally love, forgive, and accept myself today. And that's just such a beautiful thing. And your whole body just relaxes when you say that, right? Because that's you giving yourself the love and acceptance that maybe you never got from your parents. And maybe you never got from, your lover or your husband or your wife or the people in your life. But that's that gift that you can give to yourself, that love and acceptance, and that will just help your whole system relax. So make sure you give yourself that today and this weekend. Give yourself that love and acceptance. Acknowledge the good things that your shadow side or all those so-called negative things do for you. Write them down. The painful emotions, the negative emotions, the fears, write them down and acknowledge and be like, oh, but this has helped me do this, or this has protected me from that. Acknowledge it. And then you can then it can pass in peace with ease and grace. Okay? So that is today for Saturday. I love you all, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day.